Hey guys, one of the things that I put for anybody who has taken the time to actually read my New Year's resolutions was to A, write more, and B, to periscope a lot more as well. So I figured, given it's the first of the working days back in, I'm going to try and combine both of these elements and actually put this out. So one of the things that I'm going to do this year is, for every blog post that I write, I'm going to periscope a video and accompany that with my rationale, my thinking of it in terms of doing it. And now, if there's any questions as we go through this, you're more than welcome to fire them out as well, and also post as well. So at the point where people start watching this back later on and actually have any questions to ask, then feel free to kick those over to me as well. So what I'm going to do today is talk through the blog post that I put out on LinkedIn, which was my 11 New Year's resolutions. Now, really, the New Year's resolutions were kind of pretty much off the back of what felt like a pretty stellar 2016. You know, we had some pretty impressive movements going forwards with what we did with 11FS, with getting some pretty impressive clients going, and some of those things as we go through we'll be able to kind of take the wraps off as Q1 in 2017 starts going through. We managed to pull together a pretty amazing lineup in terms of the team for 11FS, and I'm incredibly proud of what we managed to achieve there, with some pretty impressive people coming into the fold pretty soon as well to keep our Avengers recruitment policy going pretty loudly. With what we did with FinTech Insider, I'm massively proud of that, I have to say, in terms of where we're at, and we've got some pretty big plans to go for that this year. Pulse, as you'll read in the LinkedIn piece that I put out, is something that we will definitely be looking at, and definitely you should sort of check out our website in the coming months to understand a lot more about that one. And then from a speaking and travel perspective, you know, I was absolutely blessed to travel to some really amazing places over the course of last year now. Still feels weird to say last year, I have to say, and I really appreciate everybody who got me to go and speak at either a conference or go and speak to your banking organisation. You know, I travelled to some of the most amazing places on the planet, and it's an absolute amazing job that I get to go to places like New Orleans and Manila and Turkey and whatnot for a job. Who'd have thought it? But getting, I guess, to my resolutions, you know, the first resolution, and you won't, you'll have to kind of forgive me for having 11 of these in terms of doing it, but given that we're 11FS, then absolutely you'll know where I'm coming from with that. The first one was to try and leave as much drama behind in 2017 as possible. You know, my experience is the more interesting things you're doing, and the more really you try and shape a niche for yourself, either the people who have been doing that before you or people who are alongside you sometimes are a little bit more frosty, shall we say, to people really taking things on and driving them forwards. So in terms of my commitment for leaving drama behind, then whether it be drama kings or drama queens, I'll do nothing but try and eject those people as quickly as I can in terms of where we're at. Moving on to number two, and this is to blog a lot more. So with being so busy last year, I just didn't have the time to spend to really put out as many pieces as I really wanted to. So I'm committing, and Sarah, who is our CMO at 11FS, will absolutely stand by this one, that I'm going to be putting out at least a blog post every month, with an aim to do it maybe like every other week in terms of where we're going. I'm now ticking a box with my third one, which is great. So my third resolution was to periscope at least once a week. Now, traveling to some awesome places and speaking at awesome conferences, working with some really amazing clients, this one's going to be a nice and easy one to do. So wherever I am, whatever I'm up to, whether again it's a client engagement or if it's a speaking thing, I'll make sure that I keep posting and keep periscoping in terms of what I'm doing. Kind of connected to that one was really about the launch of something that I've been wanting to get into for a while, and that's putting out a YouTube channel. So for all of the videos that I periscope, I'll be capturing those and putting them out on the YouTube channel, as well as doing a few other things with video. Really, for everything that we're doing with FinTech Insiders this year, video is going to be playing a really cool part of that. So yeah, watch this space for more news about those things. Number five on my my New Year's resolutions really was to work less. And now I know what you'll all be thinking. You know, actually, working less is probably a good way of becoming sending your company down to a bad place. But really, what I mean by this is we've done an amazing job into getting into some really fantastic opportunities for delivering amazing things for both incumbent banking organisations, but also out into smaller fintech companies. And in order to do that, we're going to need more people to achieve these things. So really, my ambition in terms of working less is about recruiting more people. So bringing in the right calibre of people with the right experience and the right background to really kick on with what we're doing, both with 11FS and with FinTech Insider as well. So you'll see the team at 11FS expanding at a rate of knots over the course of 2017. Number six on my objectives for the year was very much to take time to enjoy the places that I'm travelling to. Now, like I said, with regards to last year, you know, spending time in Hong Kong and Manila and all over Europe, all over the US, I never really took the time to enjoy it. I'll be honest, in terms of the travel that I did, the most amount of space that I really saw was a taxi between the airport and the hotel or the venue where I was speaking. So for me this year, I'm going to make a point of really spending some time enjoying the place and really taking in the sights of where it is that I'm traveling to. I figure, you know, you never know, I might not be doing this next year. Seven is on the list is very much a personal one to me. This is about exercise. I'm a massive believer in healthy body and healthy mind. And again, with the balance of everything with 11FS last year, very much the healthy body went out of it. So I'm committing to at least going to the gym 2 times a week, and we'll see how I get on with sticking to that one. Number 8 on my list was about reading more. Now, for anybody who knows me pretty well, you know, I read loads and loads of articles, you know, hundreds of articles a week, but never really get the time to read books. And there's some really interesting things being written out there, both from a business context perspective, but actually into some of the technologies that I'm really interested in pursuing in more detail this year. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is making sure I read more, at least making sure that I'm listening to a lot more audiobooks. I got a really good tip on getting Kindle to read out audiobooks as over the last couple of days, so I might be sort of pushing on this one a little bit more, but my commitment was to read and physically read at least 12 books in 2017. Number 9 was all about Pulse, and Pulse is a product that has been in mine and a few other people's heads for quite a long time, and something that I would have absolutely killed for when I was working in a banking organisation. It's probably best if I don't tell you too much about that one today, but go and read the blog post and let me know what you think. Number 10 is all about building out FinTech Insider. Now, we did an amazing job with that in 2016 in terms of getting it established. And really, I put that down to all of the amazing guests that we had. You know, people like Shamir, people like Neil Cross from DBS, people like Mariano Belinki from Santander. And I feel like we did a pretty good job in terms of getting the format and the interest right. But actually for season 2 and the things that will be coming through, then we're really stepping up a level now. I announced in the article on LinkedIn that bringing the people we're bringing in as sponsors for season 2 really excite me. You know, we've got some amazing content, and really now it's about getting out and distributing that to as many people as possible. So LinkedIn coming in as a major sponsor and content distributor, as well as the FT, really just kick this onto a completely different level. So really excited with what FinTech Insider holds, and we will start talking about what we're going to be doing with season 2 very, very soon. Now, the last thing that's on my objectives for the year is to build out a bank or two. Now, I talked a little bit earlier on about the opportunities that sort of came our way with regards to the consulting side of what we do with 11FS, and we're in the midst of one of those at the moment. There's been quite a few others that have come forward, and I think with that objective, which sounds like quite a bold one, I have to say, to build out a bank or two in 2017. It feels pretty safe in terms of what the objectives are. So watch this space. Another thing that we'll definitely be able to talk about in a lot more detail very, very soon in terms of where we're going. So that's me. That's my 11 objectives for 2017. I think there are some pretty tough ones in there. I rather be hard on myself and push myself than have some easy targets to meet. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you can keep me honest with these as well. So if you see me slipping, you see me stop posting, you see me stop periscoping, give me a kick and let me know. Thanks very much.